doesn't seem to be working. I wonder why.
It could be a connection issue or a streaming setting.
Okay, it's working. Perfect. Oh, awesome, guys. Sorry, this is part 3. Sorry for the, this hard situation, guys.
No worries.
Let's just check the sound just to make sure.
Sounds like a good plan.
Is it all good? Okay, sounds all good. Okay.
Awesome.
So, notability, Google. So, we left off talking about psoas major and minor origin and insertion.
Right. We covered the origins, so let's touch on the insertions. The psoas major inserts on the lesser trochanter of the femur, while the psoas minor typically inserts near the pelvic rim.
Awesome. All right. Let's go back to our notes app. Okay, let's talk about their insertions then.
Great. The psoas major inserts onto the lesser trochanter of the femur, contributing to hip flexion. The psoas minor, if present, inserts onto the iliopubic eminence, aiding in minor lumbar flexion.
Okay.
All set with those?
Lesser trochanter of femur. What is this, dude?
The lesser trochanter is a small bony prominence on the femur where muscles like the psoas major attach. It's located on the inside of the femur, just below the hip joint.
And the iliopubic eminence?
The iliopubic eminence is a bony ridge on the pelvis where the psoas minor inserts. It marks the junction between the ilium and the pubis. All clear?
So, okay, we talked about insertion. I'm not going to remember these names. I really want to, but we'd have to talk about it for a while, and I need to finish in 30 minutes or so. So, we have to do it next time. So, let's talk about the innervation. Remind me what innervation is.
No worries. Innervation refers to the nerve supply that stimulates a muscle to contract. For the psoas major, it's the lumbar plexus, specifically nerves from L1 to L3.
One more time.
Sure. Innervation is the nerve supply to a muscle. For the psoas major, that's the lumbar plexus, specifically the L1 to L3 spinal nerves.
I don't understand the difference of insertion and innervation.
Insertion is where a muscle attaches to bone, determining its action. Innervation is the nerve supply that triggers the muscle to contract. Both are crucial for understanding muscle.
I see. Okay. Can we talk a bit about something a bit easier now? The abdominal aorta.
Sure thing. The abdominal aorta is the main blood vessel in the abdomen. It supplies oxygenated blood to the abdominal and pelvic organs, as well as the legs. It runs from the diaphragm down to where it splits into the iliac arteries.
Tell me again.
Of course, the abdominal aorta is the main artery in the abdomen. It carries oxygenated blood from the heart to the abdominal and pelvic organs and down to the legs.
One more time.
Sure, the abdominal aorta is the main artery in your abdomen. It supplies oxygen-rich blood to the abdominal organs, pelvis, and legs.
Okay. And it's a continuation of the thoracic aorta.
Exactly. The abdominal aorta is a continuation of the thoracic aorta, starting at the diaphragm and running down to where it splits into the iliac arteries.
It splits into the iliac arteries.
That's right. It divides into the common iliac arteries, which supply blood to the pelvis and lower limbs.
And why does it lie left of the inferior vena cava?
left of the inferior vena cava because the aorta develops from the left side of the embryonic arterial system, while the vena cava forms on the right side from venous structures.
Why?
It's mainly due to how these structures develop during embryogenesis. The aorta and vena cava form from different embryonic veins and arteries, which position them on opposite sides as the body develops.
Okay. So, all right. Can we talk a bit about the paired branches, the unpaired branches, and all of this?
Sure, the abdominal aorta has paired and unpaired branches. Paired branches include the renal arteries to the kidneys and gonadal arteries. Unpaired branches, like the celiac trunk, supply the stomach, liver, and spleen. The superior and inferior mesenteric arteries supply the intestines.
Tell me again.
Of course, paired branches include the renal arteries for the kidneys and gonadal arteries. Unpaired branches, like the celiac trunk, supply the stomach, liver, and spleen. The superior and inferior mesenteric arteries supply the intestines.
Oh, God, I'm so confused.
It's a lot of info, I know. We can break it down more slowly if you'd like.
Yes, please.
All right, let's start with the celiac trunk. It's an unpaired branch that supplies the stomach, liver, and spleen. Then we've got the superior mesenteric artery for the small intestine and part of the large intestine.
What's the inferior mesenteric?
The inferior mesenteric artery is another unpaired branch, and it supplies the distal part of the large intestine.
Why unpaired?
Including unpaired branches supply midline structures, while paired ones go to organs on both sides, like the kidneys.
But why is it unpaired?
It's unpaired because it serves a single, central structure rather than paired organs. The unpaired branches arise from the front of the aorta.
I know that, but why is it unpaired?
Got it. It's unpaired because there's only one artery supplying those midline structures, like the intestines, which are centrally located.
Oh, dude, I'm confused.
No problem. Think of it this way. Unpaired branches come off the front of the aorta to supply single, central organs, like the intestines. Paired branches go to organs that come in pairs, like kidneys.
Okay, what about the celiac trunk?
The celiac trunk is an unpaired branch that supplies blood to the stomach, liver, spleen, and parts of the esophagus and pancreas.
Why?
It's because these organs are all located in the upper abdomen and need a direct blood supply from a single source. Got it?
Jesus, this is a bad one. Okay, and the inferior phrenic arteries?
The inferior phrenic arteries are paired branches that supply the diaphragm, arising just below the aortic hiatus.
The middle suprarenal artery? This is so specific, dude.
It can feel overwhelming. The middle suprarenal arteries are also paired and supply the adrenal glands on top of the kidneys.
Jesus. And who decides which one is going to be paired and which one will not?
It mainly depends on the organs they supply. Paired arteries go to organs that exist in pairs, like kidneys or adrenal glands. Unpaired arteries supply midline, singular structures.
Interesting.
Glad it's making more sense.
What is this median sacral artery?
The median sacral artery is a small unpaired branch that runs down the midline in front of the sacrum, supplying the sacral region and the coccyx.
So tell me again, who decides which is paired and which is unpaired?
It's based on what the artery supplies. If an organ comes in pairs, like kidneys, it gets paired arteries. Single midline organs, like the intestines, get unpaired arteries.
Okay. So celiac, where did it comes from?
The celiac trunk
Okay. Give me, guys, 30-second break. I'm sorry. My brain is a bit confused.